You can think of modern warfare not as war, as a battlefield thick with troops, but as a chessboard of long range bombers, satellites, and surveillance aircraft. And now the Queen piece, the rare, towering, decisive piece, being struck down not by another queen, but by a pawn wielded with cunning and precision. And this week, Ukraine demonstrated just such a move in what many are calling Russia's Pearl Harbor moment, the daring drone assault on 4 air bases deep within Russian territory, which appears to have damaged or destroyed over a dozen military aircraft, including 2 of Russia's highly coveted A-50 surveillance planes. The A-50 is no ordinary aircraft. Imagine an airborne brain, a flying radar station that guides bombers, coordinates fighter jets, and sniffs out Ukrainian air defences. And Russia has perhaps 6 or 7 of these left, Soviet relics, retrofitted for modern use, each valued at £235 million each. And they're strategic assets, not mere planes, and Ukraine's decision to target them makes a profound escalation in the drone war. These A-50s were stationed at Ivanovo-Severny Air Base, northeast of Moscow, and satellite images from Maxar Technologies taken before the strike and afterwards have shown 2 of them parked side by side, curiously draped in what looks like tires and sandbags, a farcical parody of modern air defense. And now enter Operation Spider's Web, the 18-month covert operation that saw Ukrainian drones, many launched from disguised shipping containers smuggled into Russia, striking 4 bases, Olyena, Ivanovo, Belaya, and Diaghilevo, and footage released to newspapers in the UK shows a drone homing in on one A-50, striking its radar dome, the mushroom on its spine, and a second drone hits another radar dome, again apparently breaching the tire-clad defences. This is the first visual confirmation of such damage, though Kyiv has previously claimed to have downed 2 A-50s earlier this year, one over the Sea of Azov. The same video shows fireballs erupting on around Tu-95MS and Tu-22M bombers, nuclear-capable relics of the Cold War that Russia can no longer manufacture. At Belaya alone, satellite imagery confirms at least 7 destroyed and severely damaged aircraft. Why does this matter? First, the loss or degradation of the A-50s will significantly impair Russia's ability to coordinate long-range air operations. And these aircraft act as airborne command centres, and without them the fighter jets and bombers operate in a fog, deaf to each other and blind to threat. Second, the damage to strategic bombers, potentially 12 to 41 aircraft hit across the 4 bases, limits Russia's capacity for air-launched missile attacks against Ukrainian cities. And with their fuel tanks alight and cruise missiles visibly destroyed on the tarmac, these bombers are no longer assets, they are expensive wreckage. Third, it shatters the illusion of security within the Russian heartland. From Irkutsk to Murmansk, distances of up to 3,000 kilometers from Ukraine, the strikes pieced what Putin once portrayed as an impenetrable shield, pieced and pierced by Ukraine's drone attack. There is too a symbolic wormwood in this for the Kremlin, as the A-50 is the eye of Russia's air force. To have that eye blackened by a small silent drone is an humiliation. These strikes speak not only of Ukraine's ingenuity, but of Russia's complacency. Piece by piece, the chess pieces are falling. Even in the aftermath, no credible defence systems were seen reacting. There was no scramble, no interception, just tires, sandbags and smoke. To quote one Western official, this doesn't change the battlefield equation. And yet it changes the strategic psychology. It shows that Russia's dominance is not just under challenge, it's under surveillance, vulnerable and increasingly ineffectual. So Ukraine cannot outspend Russia. It cannot match Russia's fleet bomber for bomber, but it doesn't have to. With ingenuity, patience, and technological adaptation, it is changing the logic of modern war. And this drone strike, with its precision, reach, and devastating effectiveness, may not liberate the Donbass, but it will delay bombings, unsettle the Kremlin, and perhaps most powerfully unmask the illusion of Russia's aerial superiority. The A-50s may yet be reparable, but the myth of invincibility, that has well and truly been shot down.